For those of you who've been wondering why I haven't done any lyrical content in set 5, or more rather, why I haven't been doing much lyrical content all this year, it's mostly because my lyrical videos don't really do well. So I'm doing this video to try and prove to myself that I can do lyrical content, but in case I can't, then at least I kind of end it on a lyrical video that's not a Celestial, and it's based on these three that's been popping up in a lot of card arts for the last few years. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here. Today I am back to cover a very interesting set of cards that I found in Lyrical Monasterio for set 5. That being the Amicale Patisserie. I believe that's the pronunciation. I may just swap to the Japanese pronunciation, but I'm trying the English pronunciation, so please bear with me. So these guys aren't really a deck. In fact, it's really interesting to me because they're more of generic, so like a side build. It's like a little engine you can play in your Lyrical Monasterio decks, and they dedicated a whole 4 slots in a main booster set to them. So I found it really interesting and I just wanted to talk about it. Given that, I have seen some lists going around locals where they play this and stuff like Lyrical Veil, and they've tried in other decks that don't really meet certain conditions, and I found it pretty interesting and I wanted to talk about it because I don't really see anyone talking about these set of cards, mostly because they can be considered like a budget build, so for a lot of people they're kind of frowned upon. But yeah, today I just want to talk about them because I thought they were pretty fun. Or at least from what I've read, I was pretty enthralled. And also because I wanted to prove to myself that, I can do a Lyrical Monasterio video. So please let me know in the comment section below what you think about these cards after, this video. And also, if you guys would like to see me do more lyrical content, especially moving on into December and January. That's mostly because December and January we only have like one set between them, and that's the DZ BTO6. So I have a lot to cover. We are going to get a lot of fun stuff that I will be filming. I'm going to be doing the blood as usual, as soon as I can. I'll be doing Glory Maelstrom. I will be doing I'll be doing a bunch of other stuff. I may just do Graham Grace. We will see how it goes. I may just bring upon 1 or 2 guest speakers as well. But other than that, that would be the plan to do set 6. But if you would like me to cover some Lyrical Monasterio content in between, such as say Lyrical Veil or maybe something from DZLBTO1, then yeah, I would be inclined to cover it if you guys let me know. If you like this video, if you like me to cover more Lyrical Monasterio content in the future, then I absolutely will. Okay, I think that's enough of a bit of a preamble. Now let's move on to the cards themselves. Now, the cards themselves they have a spell, and then they have each of the members. So there's 1 grade 3, 1 grade 2, 1 grade 1. And the interesting part is they're all different races, right? This is human, this is a ghost, so you may play it in Felty Rosa, although personal experience don't do that. And then you have a war beast. So let's break them down. Now, the thing is that, like I've said, you've seen them on a lot of card artworks already. They've appeared on, I think, Sweet. They appeared on a lot of the Mediel, high rare art. You can actually just see them in the background playing, which I thought was really cute. That, there's other students that we've never actually met that have been in the card arts, right? So the fact that they have their own order and their own now archetype, I thought that was really fun. So let's get right into them. I think we'll start off with each of the members. I think that's more fair, right? So the grade 1 we have this one, the human, and the one that has a lot of art pixie for some reason. This is Amicale Patisserie Wiltris. Her name is Wiltris, okay? When placed on the rearguard circle, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with Amicale Patisserie, which is their archetype name. It is different card name from this card, or 1 type trio, or the 3 good friends. Reveal it, put it to your hand, and shuffle the deck. So this girl is a on-place Soul Blast 1 top 7. You can search either the spell that is their archetype spell. You can search for her, the grade 2, or you can search for the grade 3. You can't search another copy of herself. But what makes it interesting is that on place for her Soul Blast 1 top 7, she is a really good early gamer. Like, you can just drop her as soon as possible and just have her participate in an early rush, and you don't really worry about any grade requirements, which I thought was pretty neat because a lot of these archetypes that have searches, they're kind of locked to something. This one really isn't locked to anything. You can just Soul Blast 1 and call and stuff. I thought it was really good. And I would say this is really good if you're playing this archetype because you can basically not need Eureka. Eureka, as all of you know by now, is a card that's very important for Lyrical Monasterio Early Rush. By playing Wiltris and the Amicale Patisserie trio in your deck, you basically have all your Soul Blasts go to her instead, right? Because you get 4 souls generally, so you can use her. But soul may be an issue for some people, so we'll cover how soul economy is touching his deck. But basically speaking, if you are playing Wiltris and the Amicale Patisserie trio, you have a early rush card in Wiltris, and you can actually choose not to play Eureka, right? So now the great tool is, and the ghost of this set, why I even started looking at these cards in the first place, is Amicale Patisserie Sweetie. That's quite a cute name. When this unit attacks while boosted by a unit with Amicale Patisserie in its card name, Soul Charge 2, and this unit gains 5 until the end of that battle. Now, there is only one card that can boost her in Amicale Patisserie so far, and that is Wiltris. So, Wiltris must boost Sweetie, and you get a Soul Charge 2 and a Power plus 5. So, that is also not great restricted for some reason. So, you can actually just turn 1 Wiltris, turn 2 Sweetie, have them in the same column, right? So when this unit boosts, you can use the Soul Blast 2 effect plus 5k. So that's a 23k column by itself, and with Soul Charge 2, you net back 1 of Sweetie's cost, so you generally just got it for free, right? You generally just got this Soul Blast cost for free. So that being said though, you now have a pretty much 1 card, 23k column by turn 2. I'll say that's pretty impressive if you ask me. I don't know about you, but for a bunch of cards that cost me 20 yen each, I'll say that's a job well done. It's really interesting how you could build such a package so easily. Like, that wasn't even a strain on deck building. It's just 4 grade 2s, 4 grade 1s. And the madness does not stop there, ladies and gentlemen. We still have more nonsense to go. The double rare and only foil in this whole package is Amicale Patisserie Makil. And this is the grade 3 in this set, okay? Now, this is where it gets funky. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, Energy Blast 3, choose a grade 2 or less Amicale Patisserie in its card name from your drop and put it to your hand. Now, you only have these 2 cards, total of 8 targets, right, that you can put back to your hand. But notice for EB3, you add it back to your hand. It didn't say call it to the rearguard circle from the drop, right? So what you can do is in fact just Energy Blast 3 when you call Makil, add this back to your hand, top 7 search for anything. It's such an interesting and tight resource loop, and it's cool that they actually really paid attention to what each of their members do, right? This is your main beat stick with the soul charge, this is your main searcher, and now you have an EB3 card that can just add anything back from the drop to your hand, right? So I thought that was really neat. So just by playing these 12 cards together, you have a pretty tight loop, and with the addition of Tight Trio, the last spell card, you have about 16 cards that can search and interact with each other pretty well, and I'm really pleased with that. But ladies and gentlemen, there is still a bit more to go, because when this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose 3 of your units with Amicale Patisserie in their card names. If you choose 3 different units with different card names, counterblast 1, choose up to 2 of your opponent's rear guards, move them to the Guardian Circle, and this unit gains 10,000 power to the end of that battle. If this card sounds familiar to you, if you remember Celedi from V series, yes, I'm referencing that. I will put a link in the description, I think. Is it Celedi? No, the one with the Veil. The Lyrical Veil deck? Yeah, if you remember the Lyrical Veil deck, I will put the link in the description for that one. So, in case you're wondering which one I'm talking about, so the not Lyrical deck, the Lyrical Veil deck from Bermuda Triangle, right? So I'll just put that link in there. Now, if you guys remember that card, basically what it does is that you choose your opponent's rear guards, move it to the Guardian Circle, and this unit gained about 10 or 20k power so that you could match the opponent's shield. Basically, you're negating the shield values of the cards that you move to the Guardian Circle, and you basically retire them, right? So the idea with Makil is that you can pay 1 counterblast if you have all 3 of the Amicale Patisserie on the field. you can now choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards, move them to the guidance circle. This unit gains 10,000 power total. So if you move 2 grade 2 or less cards from the rearguard to the guidance circle, it's counted as a power match because she gains 10,000 power to match that power. So you don't actually need to worry about the opponent's guardians overstepping on Amicale. Instead though, if you even move some of your opponent's shieldless cards, now they have to guard even more, which is really important in this meta because we have a lot of fat people on the board. We have Gamweliuses, we have what's that guy name? We have the Great Tree from Vanguard, we have the guy that can't be retired. What is his name? Oh no, I forgot. We have what is his name? Obduracy Glaive. That's right. We have Obduracy Glaive. We have Enlarged Gulf. We have like all of Maelstrom's cards. Like it's so cool to me that we have literal generic spot removal in Lyrical Monasterio. I have to stress on that. Like, not only do we have a resource loop, we have the one thing Lyrical Monasterio should not even be capable of doing, and that's spot removal. There's a reason why if you go to any Lyrical Cup in any country, be it Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, whatever, you notice in Lyrical Cups, the one deck that always wins is Michu. And that's because Michu has freaking spot removal in a nation that cannot spot remove. And now you have generic spot removal. It's fascinating to me. It's really cool that the last set of the year, they give Lyrical such a powerful and more rather interesting group of generic cards, I would say, because even though they are their own archetype, you can really slot them into anything because they're not a big package and they don't lock your Vanguard on any condition, right? They're all very diverse backgrounds, they're all ghost, human, war beast, and they all work together really well. And to show off their diversity, we still have one more card in the loop. That is Type Trio, or the 3 best friends in Japanese. Its skill is very simple, it's an order. You play this with Soul Blast 2. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 units cards with Amicale Patisserie in their different card names from among them, call them to the rearguard circle, and shuffle the deck. Now the Soul Charge 2 from Suihi makes complete sense. You can now perfect refund one of these instead. And all you do is by playing this one order card, you can now top 7 search for 2 of them with different card names and call them to the rearguard circle. This also allows you to be able to trigger the effect of Wiltris, because Wiltris does not work on just when placed on hand. It works from anywhere, so now you have even more advantages being poured on the board. It's insane, although I will warn you, the 3 best friends' only weakness is that you need to actually open 2 cards, right? If not, it's a net 0. And because Wiltris is already thinning the deck as much as possible, so there is a bit of a clash in the sense that this card could actually compromise Wiltris, but I wouldn't really worry about that. In fact, I would say that's a non-problem. If you have a scenario where you're clashing with this card, I would say you've generally procured enough advantage to be in a winning state. And so generally the TLDR of this entire package that I'm covering for you today in more detail in this explanatory video is that what they do is that they basically give you a 23k column on turn 2, an 8k attack on grade 1, a spot removal and tri-lane on turn 3, and just really easy costs to use all around. Amicale uses Color Blast for the spot removal, Energy Blast 3 to bounce, and the rest of the girls all use Soul Blast to cope, and you do have a Soul Charge too. So now that I've gone through these cards in great and elaborate detail, the question is, what are they for? What are they for though is for decks that do not have their own set of rearguards, right? If you have a deck that doesn't really have a designated or locked type of rearguards you need on the board, and you can generally play anything, I would say you could actually look into playing the Amicale Patisserie for your own collection, right? So any deck, literally any deck that does not require specific rearguards, say Lyrical Kyrie, Marlene, really anything, right? You can just play these in your decks. Because we have cards like Amicale, who is a grade 3, you can even play these in decks that have grade 3 synergy, like Lilfar, right? And also because he's a grade 2. You can also play this package in stuff like Willistar, because Willistar doesn't really need specific rearguards and has a lot of soul synergy. The only problem with Willistar is that you probably can't play the order, but I would say that's fine. You can just play the 12 of them by themselves. You can play these in any lyrical deck that just doesn't need specific rearguards or rearguards that push for a specific end. So no, you can't play this in Flam G, you can't play this in Michu, but you can certainly play this in pretty much everyone else, in my opinion. And that's gonna really wrap up this video for Amicale Patisserie. Honestly though, I'm just really impressed by these cards. I found it really strange watching that Neo Dokuvan stream on a Thursday, wondering, oh, is this gonna be a new Ride line? And no, they just straight up introduced a whole side engine for Lyrical, and I was like, wow, this is not only cheap for a lot of new players, this is pretty fun. Honestly, if you enjoy these kind of decks that have resource loops, that have a nice archetype lore, or at least something along that lines, or if you just enjoy budget decks in general, or just decks that have a bit more of an interesting twist, I would say definitely look into these 16 cards. I would say I had a lot of fun doing my research on them because they're actually pretty consistent. And it's not like they don't have results to show for it. I've seen people already win tournaments with this engine in decks like Lyrical Veil and Kyrie, which really made me consider, wow, is there really something I'm not considering here, right? And given that the whole point of the explanatory video series is to talk about stuff that people don't really talk about and start discussions on them, I thought, wow, this would be a great opportunity to bring them on board right before I cover these at BTO 6. Again, I'm just going to stress here one more time, just in case I'm not clear. Again, the comment section is always open. You can leave your thoughts on these cards. Have you even heard of these cards? I think that would be very interesting to start. And also, if you'd like me to cover more lyrical content for December and January, again, my plans are very simple. I am just going to cover these at BTO 6, but if you'd like me to cover something from Lyrical as well, from either DZ BTO 5 or 4 or DZ LBTO 1, let me know. I may just cover it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care.